Welcome to Not Factory Approved. Today I will attempt to put together the vent windows for the Cadillac. I've gotten the parts now from Metro Molded. The first set they sent was wrong, so this is the replacement. It is listed for this car, the same as the other one was, but this time I did check the dimensions. Sadly, I see there's a nick out of that. It's not very good. So it is the same length. This does stretch because it's new rubber and it has to stretch a bit to fit properly. One problem that it has is that it's missing this tab right here. So I will have to glue one on. That covers some of the trim inside, or the frame of the vent window inside. So this is the best one I have from the original car, and you can see it's basically useless. The other one was completely hard. This has some flexibility to it, but it's still cracked like crazy and can't really repair that. Not very easily anyway, not with any lasting result. So this piece will be going into the window. This one doesn't need any trimming. It's got the flexibility built into it. So I've taken the whole frame apart. Here's part of it. It's the part that holds the glass. The original window, I'm only replacing this one to match the others because it's showing signs of aging. And I've replaced all the other pieces of glass, so I might as well replace this one too since I've got it in the set. It has a fiber tape adhesive on there. It would be tempting to use the cloth electrical tape I've got, but I'm going to use rubber instead since that's more of a standard. So here's the frame of the vent window that goes in the car. The actuator here goes down through the hole, and I have to rivet on the pivot. I had to drill that out in order to get the frame out so that the pivot would come out of there. This is the pivot. So I will re-rivet that on, and it's hammer style rivets, not pop rivets. The pop rivet will leave a bump on the top and then it won't fit inside the car. I've brushed this out. It doesn't look too bad inside. The first one I did was worse. It's going to get some oil in there anyway. Again, some of this lubricating oil that's very light and evaporates, leaves hardly any residue at all. So I will put that in and I'll show you how I did it. I'll start with a strip of 1/32 rubber. It seems to work pretty well. 1/16 is too thick. I will cut a strip 1 5/16 wide for this car. Basically any GMB body of the 40s should be about the same. I don't know if they're using a different rubber strip or not, but this also fits an Oldsmobile. Listed as 42 to 48 Buick, Olds, 42 to 47 Cadillac. That's a WR 7320 is their part number. It took a while to find that. The catalog wasn't all that friendly. So I did mark this off, 1 5/16. That is too big, by the way, and then I will trim off the excess. It makes it far easier to do that, to try to do it exactly right before it gets put in. You need a sharp knife. The sharper the better. So this one it's getting rounded on the end there. So I will break that piece off. Just a little more there. I'll take the marks. I'll take this and just move in small steps. Otherwise it will run off to the side and push the ruler with it. A little bit hanging out to the end. Make sure you fold it about the middle, because you want as much on each side as possible sticking out. So there's something to trim off. And I'll put it in the vise. Feed this in, wrinkles and all. It's probably easier if you actually know what you're doing. That's why I'm having so much trouble. Now I'll go get the new piece of glass. Here it is. Nicely tinted. It's made the same as the original. 2 layers of glass with mylar in the middle. Mylar is what gives it its tinting. And now this has to go back in because it's falling out. Get the wrinkles pulled out. Slides right in, like that. I'll let that sit for a bit and dry up. And then I will trim off these pieces here and here and along here. The knife has to be very sharp or it will pull the rubber and stretch it. And then you end up with tags all the way along. And that one, you see how it's pulled in the rubber there. But it's okay because it's right at the edge. I might adjust that a little bit actually. Just a little bit inside. Even that out. And then push it in. There we go. There. So I can trim all that off after it sits for a bit. So to trim, take a sharp knife, make sure it's good and sharp on the end. It might not do the job actually. Let's have a look. And then just run it along. Be careful not to spread the seal out. I think I'm going to sharpen this. It's not quite sharp enough, I would say. I think that looks pretty good. A little bit of trimming here to do, although I can also move some of that with my fingernail. This one needs a bit more. It's pulled out of the frame slightly. A bit more to do there. See, there's a few spots that aren't quite as good as I thought they were. Try for a new blade again. Joel?
Half-dead dragonfly.
Oh yeah?
We're putting it out of its misery because it's missing its tail.
Grandson and his cousin are feeding the chicks every insect they can find. The peeping is the chicks fighting over it. Okay, I don't think anybody's going to notice that. I have a granddaughter named Samira. She decided that's the name of one of the chicks. Actually, I think she named it Samira. Okay, there we go. Now to put that in the rest of the frame. Okay, so now I have to rivet this pivot back on. I might not have had to take these off to start with, but I was nervous about spreading this enough to get the window out, and I had to remove the seal as well. I didn't want to try and do it all at the same time, so I will rivet this back in and I'll put the seal back in. I get it onto both sides so it spreads out evenly. So these are stainless steel. Well, that one's not stuck in there. Oh, these are aluminum. I'll get the stainless steel ones. These are stainless steel rivets. So in absence of the ones without the rod, all I have to do is, I want the pop rivet shoulder, do that, pin drops out, then you have the rivet shell. That goes into here. There we go, it's in. I'll hold it up so it doesn't. Let's do this. Get it on the punch. Tap over the edges. Give it a bit of a shoulder. It flares out. There, it's nice and tight. And I think I will drill out that aluminum one just to make sure it doesn't break. So there it is. Riveted in. 2 stainless steel rivets. Nice and tight. I'll put the rubber in. It has retaining tabs on it there, the end. Those fit over the ends. So we're looking for the pivot, which is right there. This is the short end, so there. And that retainer tab there. So what I can do is lock it in tight. Now I can take a needle nose pliers, so it's fairly blunt. Now it says it's a needle nose, and shove the rubber in. You can also use a large flat screwdriver. I want something that's not going to puncture the rubber. Get it down inside the track. There we go. Now we can do some stretching. This groove here has to fit over the pin. So that's like that. So we can do this one. Somebody's botched this one up. I ripped it here. I got a tab missing here. What do I want to do? I don't know. Now to install the vent window. So I've removed the upright strip that was here. So I have to take that out in order to get the window in. So what I'm going to do is I have the window down. I'm going to put the strap in this way, the channel, and let it sit there. I'll put in the winder mechanism, which goes here, and then try and get the vent window onto that. I might have to do this afterwards, but I think I can do it before. And then hopefully be able to bolt everything up.